All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back once again. I'm Nicodemus Kane. Today is Friday, August the 12th of 2022. I didn't record yesterday because I had an update on my computer, and my computer did not want to run properly for almost an hour after the update. So I just was not able to record yesterday. Today, it seems like all the settings in my OBS are completely messed up, but I think they're working now. I don't know. The levels still look low to me, but it is what it is. I don't know. Seems like every time I get an update on this computer, it just goes stupid. Anyways, yeah, nothing. Nothing particularly interesting happened yesterday. It's like I said, stupid update just completely took me out of the game for a while. Today I want to read Isaiah 29. It's a good one. It's an interesting one, I can tell you that much. I read it yesterday while I was waiting for my computer to load up. And there were a couple things that I saw, and there's a couple things that I saw this morning that I did not see yesterday. So there is enough in this one to talk about. Definitely enough in here to talk about. I'm thinking I should jump right into it because it is a long one. It's just like 2 pages. Well, maybe a page and a half. But it's enough. That's enough that we'll be talking about it for a second. So let's go ahead and do it. I don't have too much else to say as far as current events or things that are happening in the world, other than I am ready to leave this place. I thought about it yesterday, and I kind of posted something about it that I am tired of waking up out of my dreams into the nightmare of reality. And I am sorry about that. I had a sneeze catch up to me. Probably got to take a second again to blow my nose again. Hold on. Uh, but yeah, I am every morning. It's like that understanding of coming out of a dream and realizing that everything that's happening in the world is still there. It's still real. And I can understand. I can completely understand why these kids just want to make their own reality, because reality sucks. But those of us that are awake and understand it, we understand that there is a way to fix it. There is a way to change it. You don't just get to cry and bitch and moan about it and then make up your own reality and hope for the best. Make up your own reality and hope that, or make up your own reality and then force others to accept your reality. That's what a lot of people are doing right now. And there's so many kids right now they have been programmed to think that your truth is what you have. And your truth does not stand up to the facts of this world. But they want it to. They want people to give up their truths so that somebody else can have their truths. Does that make any sense? They want you to give up your truths so that somebody else can have their truths. And that's not the way this world works. You don't give up your own reality just to placate somebody else. And I am one of those that refuses to do that. And I guess I've just seen that over the past couple days, that just more and more, if you don't give up your truth, your reality, your understanding of the world, if you don't give it up and fall in line with what others want you to think and what others want you to do, then you are considered not worthy of living, not worthy of being a part of this world. A dinosaur, a fossil, some old fogey, and they don't care if you live or die. If you live, you're going to toe the party line. If you die, more the better for them. That's what these kids are thinking. That's the tragic part about it. Anyways, let's go ahead and read Isaiah 29, and let's pray to the Father that He gives us strength and understanding today. I may have to blow my nose again. Man. I was doing just fine. I really was. I was doing just fine. Then this snuck up on me, and now I feel like crap. Hold on a second. Now, it is the middle of August, and the weather is starting to change. We are starting to get a little bit more rain. The temperatures have calmed down a little bit. So, we are... What do you want to do? What do you want to call it? Heading it back into cold season, flu season? Fun. No, flu season's more towards the end of the year, but this is more of a cold season. You get those summer colds because the temperature is starting to change. You're getting more rain, you're getting more. Everything is just kind of starting to turn a little bit. At least I always did. I always get one in December, and I sometimes get one. Sometimes I get one in March, and then sometimes I'll get one in August. And they're usually colds, usually like a day cold in March or in August. And it's usually just because it's like I said, everything's just starting to change. But then I'll get the flu in December. I'm usually down for a couple days. And sometimes I don't. Sometimes it doesn't, Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It just all depends. Usually depends on how much I ate on Thanksgiving. Usually when it happens. Anyways, I used to get one at the beginning of November, but then I stopped celebrating Halloween. Stopped eating all the candy. It's environmental. I'm sorry, it's just environmental. I am firmly grounded in the non-germ theory. I am starting to believe it because I can usually call it with 99% accuracy when and where I'm going to get sick. And usually for those years that I don't get sick, I usually call it. I'm usually like, it's not going to happen this year. So I am firmly of the belief that it is definitely not germs. Germs. I'm sure you can ingest stuff. We've talked about this. Me and my wife have talked about this. Stomach flus are still a thing. You get some kind of stomach bug, and it could be environmental for all I know, or it could be something you ate. Something that was pretty bad on something you ate. And I think I've talked about this within the past couple months, actually. I still believe that you can ingest something. That's bad. I still believe that you can have something injected into you. That's bad. I still believe that you can have either a kiss or a sexual activity that could push something over. I don't know if it's anything as full blown as like HIV, but I do believe that you can transmit things. Are they germs? I don't know. I know that there are things that the body does to a human in response to bad things that we do, and we have classified them as diseases, bugs. God said he will send you these diseases and things like that just because you're not listening to him. So I need to get on with it. we can start talking about this stuff forever. Just know that somebody somewhere along the line was talking about sicknesses and flus and these things could very well be some sort of evil in your system. Even to the point of a demon in your system. That when people were sick, that they used to pray over them. I'm not going to say that Christian scientists are 100% correct, but in the Bible it says you pray over people. Even so, to the point of Christ took mud and put it over a man's eyes so that he could see. That doesn't sound like any kind of, herbs or medicine. He just took straight up dirt. I don't know. Maybe there's something to it. Maybe there's not something to it. It's worth definitely looking into, though. I'm not going to cover any of that stuff right now. I'm not going to. There's still a lot more to learn and understand on that. Definitely. Right now, I just want to read Isaiah 29. Get through it. Hopefully I don't sneeze again. Hopefully my nose will be good for me. Alright, Isaiah 29. Woe to Ariel, the city where David dwelt. Add ye year to year. Let them kill sacrifices. Yet I will distress Ariel, and there shall be heaviness and sorrow, and it shall be unto me as Ariel. And I will camp against thee round about, and I will lay siege against thee with a mount, and I will raise forts against thee. And thou shalt be brought down, and shalt speak out of the ground, and thy speech shall be low out of the dust, and thy voice shall be as of one that hath a familiar spirit out of the ground, and thy speech shall whisper out of the dust. Moreover, the multitude of thy strangers shall be like small dust, and the multitude of the terrible ones shall be as chaff that passeth away. Yea, it shall be at an instant suddenly. It shall be at an instant suddenly. Okay. Thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts with thunder, and with earthquake, and great noise, with storm and tempest, and the flame of devouring fire. Alright, there's a break. Is that a break? It's a break. This one's faded. This one didn't get printed properly. That's weird. Alright, Ariel. Let me see. Let's look up the definition of that. Name applied to Jerusalem. The name of the chief of the returning exiles. A symbolical name for Jerusalem, also the name of an Israelite. It's a lion of God or lioness of God. So, woe to Ariel, to Jerusalem, the city where David dwelt. Well, there you go. At year to year, let them kill sacrifices, and I will distress Ariel, and there shall be heaviness and sorrow, and it shall be unto me as Ariel. I will camp against thee round about, and will lay siege against thee with the mounts, and I will raise forts against thee. Of course, this is Jerusalem getting laid to waste. Thou shalt be brought down, and shalt speak out of the ground, and thy speech shall be low out of the dust, and thy voice shall be as of one that hath a familiar spirit, out of the ground. And thy speech shall whisper out of the dust, you shall be nothing. Moreover, the multitude of thy strangers shall be like small dust, and the multitude of the terrible ones shall be as chaff that passeth away. Yea, it shall be at an instant suddenly. The multitude of thy strangers. Now you have to remember that at this time it had said, the Bible had said, do not let strangers into the walls. Unless the strangers that want to come into the walls, unless they want to follow your ways, unless they want to be a part of it. That door has always been open to the Gentiles, even though some people say that, that wasn't always there. No, it was always there. They can come in, but they have to follow our ways. They have to leave the old world behind. They have to come in and follow our ways and be a part of it. And not just come in and just, bring their gods with them, or bring their, traditions with them, bring their holidays with them, or bring anything else with them. They need to cast all that away. They can come in, follow our ways, and they can be a part of it. That's been there. So this is a multitude of strangers shall be like small dust, and a multitude of the terrible ones. Multitude of the terrible ones. Multitude of thy strangers, just to look, to be strange. The terrible ones, all-inspiring, terror-striking, awesome, terrifying, ruthless, powerful or tyrannical, to terrible ones, and the multitude of the terrible ones. You have so many strangers that have moved into the land, and you have a multitude of tyrannical, terrible people that have moved into the land, because I told you not to do it. That's God speaking. I told you not to do it. I told you not to bring in the strangers. I told you not to mix and mingle. I told you not to let these people come in and do this, but they're all there. And your city has fallen for it because you listened to them. Because you let them run around freely. You started believing in their gods. You started following their ways. And God told you, if you do that, you're going to get punished. I'm going to walk right over you. You'll be the dust of my sandals. You'll be as low as the dust. It says, thy speech shall be low out of the dust, and thy voice shall be as one that hath a familiar spirit out of the ground. You will be nothing. You will be shall be as chaff that passeth away, shall be like small dust, and it shall be at an instant, suddenly. For when they say that there is what's the word? Peace and security? Is that what it is? Or is it peace and safety? I don't remember which one it is. Because they're starting to say now safety and security. But anyways. But as soon as they say that, then that's whenever it explodes. Now, I am one of those guys that says that we should not be mixing. That doesn't mean that I'm a racist. That means that it has been proven over and over again through history, if people stay to their own places, you don't have problems. We were supposed to be separated. I'm not telling anybody that, if you see somebody that's not like you, to go kill them and hurt them and murder them. No. I'm saying that we weren't ever supposed to mix. We were supposed to be separated. God did that on purpose. He never wanted us to come back together. If we come back together, then that's whenever evil starts happening. God has seen it happen at least twice. At least twice. Everybody got together, created this one world system, and it all fell apart. So he said, all right, I'm going to keep you separated. I'm going to give you languages. I'm going to give you all this stuff. I'm going to put you in different corners of the world. And you're going to stay there, and you're going to exist, and you're going to quit being jerks. Because whenever you guys get together, you start coming up with all these crazy evil ideas, and then next thing you know, you're building towers, or you're manipulating genetic material, or you're doing all this stuff. And I'm telling you. So we're back to where we are. Or we back to where we were. There's nothing new under the sun. We're back to where we were. They're starting to create these one world orders, these one world monetary systems, these one world religions. They want everything to be mixed up. They enjoy it. While certain people don't have to mix. It's all you have to do is open your eyes to it and see who is and isn't mixing, and then wonder who's going to be left. It's interesting. I was listening to something the other day, and the main ones, the main countries that aren't allowing, they're kind of keeping separated off for, like, China and Japan and Korea, things like that. They just don't have people that come in very much. They don't live there. I don't think there's not too many white people that are wanting to go out and live in China, but they've been like that for years. And those countries are kind of thriving. Yes, I know North Korea and China are communist, and those are probably the worst places in the world, but they are thriving. They are up on it. Japan has always been thriving because they've been separated. It is incredible how a country that somehow survived two nuclear bombs, or two atomic bombs, they're not nuclear, they were atomic, somehow survived two atomic bombs, was able to bounce back as quickly and easy as they could and become like the number one, the video game manufacturer, computer manufacturer, microchip, whatever. Because they're isolated. Because they stayed isolated. They don't let very many people in the country. I mean, they let tourists in all the time, sure, but not many people stay. They have chosen to seclude themselves. It's not racist to say that. It's something to look into. I mean, if people want to live with people, hey, whatever. You have fun with that. But don't force me to want to learn their culture if I don't want to learn their culture. See, that's where people get all hung up on it, is everybody wants to say, oh, if you don't want to learn it, if you don't want to be a part of it, then you're this or you're that. It's like, no, it's because I don't want to. What? You don't want to accept reality. Say, what are you, a realitist? I mean, really? Are you saying that you don't want to have any reality whatsoever? Because, I mean, my reality is that I don't think that, we should be mixing all this stuff together. It's not because I'm a racist. It's just because that's the way it's been for a while, and it seems like we thrive. And I'm not saying that we should take everybody and put them into some, herd everybody over into some place and say, hey, there you go. I never said that. No, I think that, what was it? I'm trying to think of the way I was thinking about it yesterday. And the way I've thought about it before is, if you let people give them a place to go, let them live that way with their own rules, with their own laws, with their own whatever. Let them be separated. This is racial. Let them be separated. Let them do what they're going to do. Let them thrive the way they're going to thrive. Let them have, again, their own laws, their own money, their own whatever. They're going to do what they're going to do. And they're going to live their lives. And they're not going to bother anybody. And they're probably going to do pretty well. We saw that a lot in the, it wasn't Oklahoma, was it? The black communities that sprung up in the 20s and the 30s, the ones that got firebombed, that, but they had their own Black Wall Street, and they had their own money system and their own, their own way of living their life. And they were thriving. They were doing well because they had their own religion. They had their own schooling system. They had their own monetary system. They had their own beliefs. They had everything that was theirs for them. And of course, yes, white men came in and killed it all because it was getting a bit out of control. And I don't even think it was white men. I think it was the bankers. I think once the banks saw that it was working, that there was a way for a community to be able to break out of the banking system of the United States of America. That was whenever they said, oh, we got to go put a stop to this, which is one of the biggest problems in the world right now, is the banking system and the psychotic nut jobs that are in charge of it. But that is a whole nother story for a whole nother time. But we've had proof that whenever anyone racially breaks off with their own people and is able to do what they want to do, how they want to do it, in all aspects of life, they do better by themselves than if they were to be mingled with everybody else. Now, a lot of people disagree with that. A lot of people absolutely disagree with that because they'll say, well, look at the rest of the world is yada, yada, yada. And you have to remember that this world is founded on lies. That is not, these people, when they mix, aren't being held up and celebrated by their own people. They're not being celebrated by us, white people. They're being pushed forward because of agendas. It's amazing when you talk about, especially between black and white, when you talk about this racial divide between black and white, you only see the same 10 talking heads when it comes to what do you want to call it, racial justice, equality. It's always the same 10 people. Now, you're supposed to make me believe that white people are becoming the minority in the country, and yet for the past 20, 30 years, I've still only seen the same 10 black men and women that talk about the same talking points that they've talked about. No. They're being pushed forward because of an agenda, a white man agenda, in order to be able to push this equality thing. And again, I am not one. I believe in equality. Sure, that's great. But I also believe in racial separation. Because again, you're going to thrive with your own people than you are if you were to be mixed with people that don't understand you. It's there. It's a thing. I'm sorry, but it's there. It's always going to be there. It's not going to be called racism, but there's going to be something to it. Your beliefs are not my beliefs. Your understanding of life is not my understanding of life. This is why I moved away from certain white people, because this is not what I want. I am considered a racist because of that. I say, so what? So what? Because I don't want to live next to certain people that I don't understand. I do that with white people too. Again, there's a lot of neighbors I have out here now. I moved to a primarily white town. I still don't talk to half of these people because they're just not people I identify with anymore because I'm on a totally different level now. But I feel more comfortable. Is that racist? I don't think it's racist at all. I think you could go and ask anybody, truthfully, honestly, 100%. Ask them, who do you feel more comfortable around? And if you feel more comfortable around being around a bunch of mixed people, that's awesome. That's great. That's on you. But a good majority of people are going to say that they feel better around people that are like them. So, hey, make up your minds. Anyways, that was a whole thing. Multitude of strangers. Multitude of the terrible ones. You shall be visited with earthquakes and great noises and with storms and a tempest. And that's what I believe, though. You can call me whatever you want, and I don't give a crap what you call me. I am not calling for certain races to be wiped off the map, and I am not calling for certain races to be held down because of it. I still think that people can be separated and be able to share technologies. I do. I absolutely believe that. But I also think that we were supposed to be separated on purpose. There's reasons to it. You just take a look around. When everybody's mixed up, the melting pot has not worked. I'm sorry, it just has not worked. Verse 7, and the multitude of all the nations that fight against Ariel, even all that fight against her and her munition, and that distress her, shall be as a dream of a night vision. It shall even be as when an hungry man dreameth, and behold, he eateth. But he awaketh, and his soul is empty. Or as when a thirsty man dreameth, and beholdeth, he drinketh. But he awaketh, and behold, he is faint, and his soul hath appetite. So shall the multitude of all the nations be that fight against Mount Zion. So they will want to come against her. They will dream of it, but they will not be able to. They will not be able to. Because it's Jerusalem. It's his chosen people. They will not be able to come against her, but God's still going to take that all down with earthquakes and all this other stuff. Because God made the promise. He said, I'm not going to let any nation come up against you, but it's going to be me that judges you eventually. I wanted to see what all the nations, non-Hebrew people, the Goy. Verse 9. Stay yourselves and wonder. Cry ye out and cry. They are drunken, but not with wine. They stagger, but not with strong drink. For the Lord hath poured out upon you the spirit of deep sleep, and hath closed your eyes. The prophets and your rulers, the seers, hath he covered. Now I'm going to stop there for a second. I saw this one yesterday, and this is exactly what is happening right now. For the Lord hath poured out upon you the spirit of deep sleep, and hath closed your eyes. So many people right now are sleepwalking. They just are not paying any attention whatsoever. You can tell them constantly over and over and over and over and over and show them every bit of proof and every bit of understanding, and every bit of everything and try to tell them, look, this is coming up on you. You need to wake up. But people, when you talk to them, and I've seen it so many times now, they glaze over. Their face, their eyes, they just glaze. I have actually seen people fall asleep in front of me. They just glaze. And that right there, it says it all. For the Lord hath poured out upon you the spirit of deep sleep, and hath closed your eyes. You cannot see the truth, whether you wanted to see it or not, because God gave it to you. You want to live in your unrighteousness. You want to believe the lie. You want to keep going on with this world. You want the worldly things. You want all of this madness and darkness. I've seen too much of it. They want to live like this. So God will give it to you. He will pour out the deep sleep, the spirit of deep sleep. Close your eyes. God will give them over to the lie because they choose to believe the lie, because they want to live in their unrighteousness. You will not listen to it. And no matter how much the rest of us are trying and begging, I've begged. Believe me, I have begged for my family just to wake up, just to look. Take 2 seconds. Just open your eyes. They won't do it because it's right there. It's right there in the Bible. It's a couple times. It's this one, and then the one that comes later where it says that, he will give them over to the lies. And it's just, pray as much as possible that they will be able to see it. Absolutely pray. If you need somebody to open their eyes, you need to pray for them to be able to see it. If you are having problems with them waking up to it, pray for the seeds. Pray for the Father to give you the ability to plant the seeds. Just a little tiny bit, just enough to get them going. Just something, anything, because there are so many people. If anyone listening to this is like me, there are so many people that you just, and you love, and you don't want to see them get hurt, and you want the best for them, and you want them to grow up in a better world and with a better life, because you've been turned, you've seen the better way, and you just want everybody to come be a part of that. But so many people just won't listen to it. They won't hear it. They won't make the turn, and it hurts. And I get it. It hurts. That's a pain that you have to live with. That is an absolute pain that you have to live with, is that you can't turn everybody. But you just pray. Just keep praying. Say, Father, please help me. Say the words, whatever I have to do to make them turn away from this evil world. Because for the majority of them, he hath poured out upon you the spirit of deep sleep, and hath closed your eyes. The prophets and your rulers, the seers hath he covered. Let's keep going. Verse 11, and the vision of all is become unto you as the words of a book that is sealed, which men deliver to one that is learned, saying, read this, I pray thee. And he saith, I cannot, for it is sealed. There it is again. Read this, I pray you. Take this, look at this information, Put on the glasses. There you go. Put on the glasses. I'm praying. I pray you put on the glasses. Read the book. Watch the video. Look at the signs. And they say they can't. They can't. That doesn't mean anything to me. The book is sealed. It's closed up. I can't watch it. The video has been censored. Now that's more of a thing where, you know, an outside force is taking it away. This is for the people that see it. They just can't look at it. They can't comprehend it. Read this, I pray thee. And he saith, I cannot, for it is sealed. And the book is delivered to him that is not learned, saying, read this, I pray thee. And he saith, I am not learned. And that's the other one. That's the other one. That's where you, and I've heard this one before too, that's where you take the information and give it to somebody and say, just look at it. Just put the pieces together. And they say, well, I'm not a scientist. I can't understand that because I'm not a scientist. I'm not a investigative journalist. I'm not this. I'm not that. I'm not a politician. So you don't have to be a politician. Just read it. No, I can't do that because I'm not learned. I don't understand that. Oh, you just read it. Just read it word for word. Just understand it word for word. Just listen. Just look at it. Watch the video. Put the pieces together. Think logically. I can't. I'm not. You're not either. So what you're spouting sounds like garbage. This is the counter argument. You know, well, you don't know because you don't. You know, you're not a scientist. You don't know. You don't have a degree like they do. Degree good. You not smart, you dumb. They smart. Tell me good stuff. That's what it is. That's the two. That's this whole thing. This all tells you everything you need to know about what's going on in the world. Right there, right then and there. Is that they will not see it because it's closed up to them. They're not going to see it. God has cut them off. God gave them every chance to see the truth, to open their eyes. For some reason he picked me. And again, I sit back and I wonder why. But for some reason he picked me. I don't know. I'm able to see it. This right here tells me that there's something more to my life that I have to understand and have to follow because I'm able to see the truth. But the rest of them, they won't see the truth. They're not going to see it. No matter how much you put it in their face, they're not going to see it. And they will be closed off to it. Or they will say that, you know, I'm not a scientist, I can't understand it. It's weird. It's weird. It's a weird feeling. It's a very closed off feeling. It's very claustrophobic. I don't say claustrophobic so much as it's isolated. There you go. That's the word I was looking for. It's a very isolated feeling because you just can't. There's only so many people that I have been able to sit down and talk to, especially recently, where I have been able to say everything I wanted to say and they understand it. There are only so many people that can do that. Everybody else is, like I said, they just glaze. Just something comes over them. It's like the veil just dropped right on their head. And they're just gone. And it's like, I just lost you. I wanted to make sure that, I'm still doing all right. Okay. Let's keep going in this. We're about 40-something minutes in. We're still doing good. Anyways, though, it's right there. It's right there. If you ever wanted to know, it's right there. Verse 13, wherefore the Lord said, for as much as this people draw near me with their mouth, this is some big stuff right here. For as much as people draw near me with their mouth and with their lips do honor me, but have removed their heart far from me, and their fear toward me is taught by the precept of men. Therefore, behold, I will proceed to do a marvelous work among this people, even a marvelous work and a wonder. For the wisdom of their wise men shall perish, and the understanding of their prudent men shall be hid. I'm going to take this piece at a time here. For those people that draw near me with their mouth, for you that just say that you will follow my commandments and understand me, and that with their lips they do honor me, and you praise God and you worship God, but you have removed your heart from God. You will not follow him. And your fear towards God, your fear towards, and their fear towards me, is taught by the precept of men. Men have taught you, fear God, worship God, love God, and you honor him by saying, God, we worship you, we pray for you every day, and we do all this, but your heart's just not in it. Your heart's still stuck in this world. That's pointing that out right there. Therefore, behold, I will proceed to do a marvelous work among this people, even a marvelous work and a wonder. For the wisdom of their wise men shall perish, and the understanding of their prudent men shall be hid. Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord, and their works are in the dark, and they say, who seeth us, and who knoweth us? Those are the same people that they want to come in. They said Monday through Saturday sinners can wash it all away on Sunday by going into church, reading all the books, singing all the songs, saying that you want to deal with it. But then as soon as you get out, your heart is right back in the world. You don't want to follow it. I have as much problem with this as anybody else. My heart, sometimes I think my heart is still stuck in this world. I have a stain on my heart. And I ask the Father every day to take that stain off of my heart so that I can follow him as best as I can. So I do not want to be hypocritical whenever I say stuff like this. Even though right now I am, but I do not want to be hypocritical of this later. I want everybody to know that I have just as much problem because I still have a part of my heart that is stained with this world. I am trying to make perfect. So don't think that I am excused from this. None of us are perfect. Even the most righteous of us probably still have one or two things that they're still working on. So I'm just reading this, and I want people to hear it and understand it, but know that I am just as guilty of it. So don't think that I am more perfect than you because I'm saying this. But woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord, and their works are in the dark, and they say, who seeth us, and who knoweth us? Woe unto them that hide what they're doing. Surely you're turning of things upside down. Now listen to this stuff. Surely you're turning of things upside down, because everything will be turned upside down at the end. White will be black, good will be bad. Evil and darkness shall take over righteousness and good. Woe unto them that say bad is good and good is bad. Surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. For shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not? Or shall the thing framed say of him that framed it, had he no understanding? It is not yet a very little while, and Lebanon shall be turned into a fruitful field, and the fruitful field shall be esteemed as a forest. There's so much in there. And I didn't see it yesterday. But whenever I read it today, I caught it. You've got the part right before it that says that they will be poured with the spirit of deep sleep. And then right after it says there will be people, those people that come to God talking all of his praises, singing all of his praises, honoring him with his lips, doing or talking about living righteously, doing all these things, but their hearts are just not in it. And that all of these words of all these people that say this stuff will go away, will perish, will be nothing. And that those people who do their work in the dark, hide their counsel, hide their dark and evil ways away from the Lord, to do it in the dark. It's the beginning of Jeremiah, I think. Beginning of Ezekiel too. They talk about no matter how bad you think it is, because whenever God was taking them around and showing them the things that are going on in the world, no matter how bad you think it is on the surface, just behind the door, it is that much more evil. It is that much more worse. Those that hide their evil in the dark, those that do their secret evils away from everybody else. Now you have to remember that at one point in time, a lot of this evil was out in the open. A lot of the child sacrifices, a lot of the bloodlettings, a lot of all these things, they were right out in the open. People just did it. They didn't care, you know? Somewhere along the line, Christianity took over. And what these people did is they started going into the darkness, and they did everything in the dark. And they made code words for it, and they made symbology for it, so that anyone else that was a part of that system could know exactly where they are, who they were, where to go, and what to do. Everything is in the dark now. It's all occulted. That's why we call it the occult. It's because it's the things that are hidden. It is this occult knowledge. That is the stuff that we are just now starting to see. The veil is being lifted on the evil of this world. So much so to the point now that they're just putting the evil out in front of everybody, because they have convinced everyone that half of this evil is okay. Woe to them that hide what they do. And then, woe to them that call evil good and good evil. These are the same people. These are the same people. Those that hid everything and are now coming out and just calling it good. They hid all their evil, and now they're just coming out and calling it all good. That's it right there. That's it right there. Surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. Surely your saying that evil is good and good is evil will be as nothing. Right there. Verse 18. That's a big one, man. That's a big one, and a lot of people don't say much about that. I don't hear Isaiah 29 come up that much. I hear a couple other ones. Somebody said something about Isaiah 22 yesterday, and I was like, did we just skip over something in Isaiah 22 that I didn't even... I don't know. I don't even... I don't see anything in Isaiah 22. I'm looking Isaiah 22. I don't see anything. Maybe it wasn't Isaiah 20. Maybe it was another one that I'm not seeing anything. There was something in Isaiah 22, and it's probably something that I need to stop and reread it. I don't remember. I don't remember what it was. I don't even remember what video I was watching yesterday that I saw it. But this is a big one, though. This is a big one. Those two, Isaiah 29, 9 through 12, and Isaiah 29, 13 through 17. If you want to know everything that's going on, that's it right there. Bam, bam. Verse 18, and in that day shall the deaf hear the words of the book, and the eyes of the blind shall see out of obscurity and out of darkness. The meek also shall increase their joy in the Lord, and the poor among men shall rejoice in the Holy One of Israel. For the terrible one is brought to naught, and the scorner is consumed, and all that watch for iniquity are cut off. That make a man an offender of word, and lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate, and turn aside the just for a thing of naught. Therefore thus saith the Lord, who redeemed Abraham, concerning the house of Jacob, Jacob shall not now be ashamed. Jacob shall not now be ashamed. Neither shall his face now wax pale. But when he seeth his children, the work of mine hands, in the midst of him, they shall sanctify my name, and sanctify the Holy One of Jacob, and shall fear the God of Israel. They also that erred in spirit shall come to understanding, and they that murmured shall learn doctrine. So by the end of it, all those that are meek and trodden down, all the ones that have been hurt and destroyed and weakened, the meek, the deaf, in that day shall the deaf hear the words of the book, those that could not hear, and the eyes of the blind shall see out of obscurity and out of darkness. Those that could not hear it, could not see it, they will understand. The meek also shall increase their joy in the Lord. There shall be an outpouring of understanding. Everyone will come back to the Word. You will, well, we go back to, I wish I knew that verse. We will go back to the verse, though. I wish I knew where it was, though. But it's the one where, in the end, the Gentiles will come back to God, and they will say, surely we have inherited lies. They will wake up. Everyone will wake up. It is an apocalypse. It is the Greek word apocalypse. Does not mean that the end of the world. It means that it is an outpouring of knowledge, of understanding. It's like everybody's eyes will be opened up. The lifting of the veil. We're seeing it. We're seeing it happen. Right now, there are so many people that they are not going to see it. No matter how much you try, God has given them the spirit of a deep sleep. But in that day shall the deaf hear the words, and the eyes of the blind shall see out of obscurity and out of darkness. And the meek shall also increase their joy in the Lord, and the poor among them, and the poor men shall rejoice in the Holy One of Israel. For the terrible one is brought to naught, and the scorner is consumed, and all that watch for iniquity are cut off. All of those that watch for iniquity. Can you think about that for a second? We've talked about that before. Those that look for sin, search for sin, want to find sin, I mean, these people want it. It's not like, sin just came upon them. They're like, oh, hey, let's go sin. These are the people that go out and search for it, hunt it down. They want it. We've heard that in the Bible before. It's crazy to think about. It's absolutely crazy to think about. That make a man an offender for a word, and lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gates. Lay a snare for him. We've talked about this one before too. Those leaders and rulers that lay snares, the wise men that teach evil, that lay snares, just to be able to turn you, to confuse you, manipulate you. And turn aside the just for a thing of naught. For all of those that are just trying to do good in the world, they will be turned away for nothing. They will be told, you can't come preach here. You can't come spread that word. You can't tell us that there is something better than this. Because that's hate speech. That's evil. That's cruel. You can't come here and do that. You can't come here preaching love. You need to go away. That's what that is. That's exactly what that says. They also that erred in the spirit shall come to understanding, and they that murmured shall learn doctrine. So eventually we will all find out not only will there be an increase in love for God, but for everyone that has erred in the spirit, has either been taught the wrong things, or has taught the wrong things, or those that believe but don't have the true word, the true understanding, they will come back to it. They're not going to be overrun and destroyed. It does not say that. It says that the blind will have their eyes open, the deaf will have their ears opened. Those that have erred in the spirit shall come to understanding. And those that murmur, those that whisper, shall learn doctrine. There will be an understanding of the truth. And for all of us that have either learned the wrong things or maybe even taught the wrong things, we will come to understanding. We will have the full wisdom and understanding so that we can know the truth. And that's exactly what's happening. You've had, again, so many people that have been blind to it. So many people that will not have their eyes opened at all. So many people that were deaf to it, could not see it, have spoken against it, spoken against the word, just like me, spoken against the word, will one day have their eyes and ears opened, just out of the blue. Again, I don't know why he picked me. I don't know why I was picked for this, but this is what it is. This is what it is, and it's amazing. Every day, it's something new. It's something new to learn, something new to understand. Every time I read this book, it's something new. And I know that I am not a teacher. I am not the best teacher in the world at all. It's terrible. All I can do is read the Bible and point something out and say, look, this is very similar to this, or this is something that I've, hit with that. but it's in here. And this is what he wants me to do. This is what God wants me to do. This is why God wakes me up at 5 o'clock in the morning every day. So I can spend an hour talking about this. I don't know why. I don't know why. The Father has definitely taken me from a place, moved me to a totally new world that I don't even know. I don't even know. It's crazy. It's been crazy. But it's been better. Yes, sometimes it hurts. Sometimes it bothers me when I see the lies and I know the truth, and it makes me angry and it makes me sad. And I cry a lot. I do. I absolutely cry a lot. I cry a lot more than I used to. I can tell you that much right now is that I don't. Some days are way more sadder than others. Some days hurt a lot. And then there's anger. Righteous anger. Justifiable anger. There's a time for hate and a time for love. There's a time to put evil out. And there's a time to rejoice. And then a time to be happy. So, righteous anger, I have. But that wasn't there before. Whenever I was back just being a sheep of the world, just living my life, I was just going along to get along. I was happy and bitter back then because I wasn't getting my way. Man, I remember just being angry at people that had more than I did. You know? Being angry at people because they weren't acknowledging my existence. Being angry with people because they would not agree with me. God, I was a narcissist. That was terrible. Now it's something completely different. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's been such a crazy ride, man. Thank you, God. Thank you, Father. Thank you, Father, for pulling me out of where I was. Whew. All right. I'm going to stop there because that's a lot to ponder and contemplate. You know? That is a lot to ponder and contemplate. Yeah, I don't have anything else to tell you other than, God bless you all, man. Absolutely take care of yourselves out there. Keep discernment open. Pray for those that do not see. Pray for the Father to give you the words and the wisdom and the understanding to be able to open the eyes of those that are what is it again? That are covered with the spirit of deep sleep, that have their eyes closed. God has closed their eyes because they choose to live in their unrighteousness. Pray to Him. Ask Him to be able to uncover their eyes. Because in the end, they that erred in the spirit will come to understanding, and they that murmured shall learn doctrine. There will be those that do not see it. They will open their eyes. You can call it a great awakening if you want to. That's, but it's possible. It's possible. If you had faith as a mustard seed, you'd be able to move a mountain. Come on now. Faith is a mustard seed. That means our faith is nothing. There are people out there that I know, that I've talked to, that I have had experiences with, that they have done things. Not only healing, but they have been able to change their world into something beautiful, something amazing. Just being around them is like it's a light, a life. I've been around these people. It's incredible. Do you imagine how much more faith they have than you? I have faith. I can pray, and I can have something happen to me that I prayed for. And that's awesome. That's amazing. But these people can do that. Imagine what Christ could do. He had faith off the charts. Pray to the Father for that wisdom and understanding. Pray to Him that those people that you really, really love, that they can have their eyes opened, and that you can help them. You can show them the way. You can help them understand. Show them where to go. All right. I want to stop that. You guys take care of yourselves. I will talk to everyone later.